Hey guys, what is up? What is up? What is going down? My goodness. Well, let's see. What do I want to talk about? Oh, I know what I want to talk about. I want to bring up another subject. We're still talking. I'm still on this idea of going over the salvation text. This is what I'm calling the Book of Thomas because it says right at the beginning of it, if you can learn what these say, if you can learn what this says, then you will see no death. All right, that's the whole idea behind gaining everlasting life and knowing what you're seeing, learning how to read the spirit of the Bible. All right, and I'm going to try to get it to where you say, it's like it's not like when we're developing what it is that it means, that it can't mean something else. It has to mean this or nothing else. So let's see if there's anything that we can get out of it. But let's just do it to just one of them right now. See if we can keep this short. All right, between me and the dirty dozen. And I sure hope you guys are catching on to this. That's why you're here. Because I tried this out with someone today and been doing it all day long in a way, because I would come back here from work and doing things and get to answer a question because someone's done something, but they're just being mean and ornery out there. And I'm on this atheist channel. And my bait that I throw out there is kind of pungent, and it hooks some of these guys in their ass when I catch them, but before I can reel them up, they're going to have a little tug of war with me. And I'm mostly getting, like ignorant stuff, like, hey, you smell like you're eating lobster. What's that? So, I'm having IQ battles with these guys. And at the same time, I tell them a story. I tell them, here's the Bible. Don't you have some kind of story, a question about the Bible? Isn't it something that's hanging on you somewhere that's just waiting to be revealed? Would you like to tell them, come on, Silence, absolute silence. It's crazy. But listen, I've spelled things out and I'm really good now about being like right in on that, especially when I'm writing. I don't have to repeat myself and it's less dyslexic, aside from the bad spelling, you know. But here it is right in front of some of these people that are saying that they, I was describing the brain frequencies of going from low level outside beta to a higher level in our mind, which is delta. And oh no, that's where'd you get it's this is science. It's science. So this is the kind of stupid I get. And these guys are, I'm a professor, I was describing what a polarized energy is. And a polarized energy is just like our backbone. We have the lower frequencies in there that represent the red, the colors red and stuff. And this is in real life too, not just what's in our mind, in our body and stuff like this. But the higher frequency, light blue, purple, and then disappears. The lower frequencies create matter. This is the negative side. This just means it's a male energy. That's all. So it comes hell. So it's the devil, what the hell. So it's the lower conscious. Oh, ain't that just sad? Ain't that sad? All right, well, anyways, these people ain't connected up to God. They aren't, and they're atheists even at that. And I was in there fishing in their pond. I'm hoping that I would find someone in there that was pretty learned on the Bible. But do I find anybody? Do they even ask questions? Hell no. So I keep filling in like, hey, did you know that God is a we and not a he? You know that? But anyways, so and then it's like, come on, for the learned, for those guys that, didn't go to school for the lunches, listen up. All right, check this out. I'll do your homework for you. So it kind of pisses them off. But this is kind of poking in the prod and that has to happen in the works. And here they are making fun of the works. They're like the good trompers. They're tromping. Oh, it's a bunch of book and a bunch of stupidness and stupid this and stupid that. But, I try to say that there is no middle ground. I said, yeah, there is. There's a middle ground. There's you and these believers are acting a fool. And it's like watching a couple of retarded people fight. It's just awful. So I've come in to intervene and show you what both of you stupid motherfuckers are missing. You know, come on, just give me an ear. Think about it. You know, use that noggin. That this is all about your noggin. Oh no, it's not. I said, yeah, it is. Yeah. So I tell you what it's about, and you don't want to believe God's word, right? You won't believe some guy like me come up and say, well, you know, it's really about the mind. Yeah, nobody's real or nothing like that. It's about the mind. No, it's not. No, it's not. They'll say, all right, you know, continue. I am not responsible for that kind of retardation. I'm not. I'm not. But it certainly tells me what folly is. All right. It sure gives me a great direction or definition of what the word folly means. So give me a second. I'm going to get you down. All right. So let's do another one of these things from the book of Thomas, the Gospel of Thomas, the forbidden book of Thomas. Well, one of the reasons why it is this book of Jesus' sayings, but it is an entire book of them. And they're not just like thrown out there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It tells you a story. It's actually telling a story, and it's following the number system. So if we wanted to, you know, like just go to 5 and do all the 5s, you would find that it becomes something that's, you know, it's going to be about our skin, you know. But it's an awful long thing. So it goes in and out. But all these things are things that Jesus says. This is, and they fit into every one of these pots perfectly. Like here's one. Number 7 is this idea, and we learned about it in Daniel when we were doing the lion's den. The lion's den. This we actually we didn't learn it in the lion's den, but it's off of a story that I learned in like the Tao, the Tao, you know, where it'd be better that a man swallow the beast and become the beast, or you know, or eat the beast, you know, whatever, or have the beast devour the man, and the man becomes this thing's ass. So it's this idea that in 7 on here it says, "Blessed is the lion that a person will eat, and the lion will become human." And number 2 on here it says, "An anathema is a person whom a lion will eat, and the lion will become human." What they're trying to do here is you're actually trying to, you don't want the beast to consume you. You want to gain control over the beast. So that's what this number 7 means. It's this idea of harnessing the beast. It's what we talk about it all the time. It's this, the horse. You are the rider and the driver of this horse, and you are also the one steering it around. So, and then Gilgamesh, you can't help it, but what has he got under his left hand or his left arm, whichever one is the left arm? He's got a lion underneath there, all right? So in most of these stories, what happens is where's the little lion, where the little lion cubs feed. And that's talking about our child. It's talking about our brother, all right? So anyways, that was number 7. Let's see what other things we have. Oh, and number 9. Number 9 is a conscious number. And what it is it's the idea. It's sowing the seed. It's the sowing the seed parable. But it's a little different because we understand that the very first one, which is going to be representing the left side of our brain or the West, that what we get out of that is that if we sowed our seed to the wayside, because it's a four, that's what it's done in fours, so it's about worlds. It's about going from this side to the, going through here. So this is on in our Bible, we hear the parable as being that if you sowed your seed, if you learn to sow your seeds by the wayside, that's representing that, the west, that the devil will come and take whatever was in your heart and run off with it. So that means that, you know, you'll be dead, all right, because you've been sown, to the outside world. And then we have that there is a middle ground somewhere where it's rocky, it's the stone. Did you learn this through the stone? And that's what you and I are doing, but at the same time, but it's this idea that it was short-lived. It didn't have anything to root into because it wasn't used correctly. So it's not, so whatever you sowed your seed in, and it was emotional that got it going on, and emotions come and go and come and go. So it wasn't something that could grab hold and grow. All right. So that's whenever it grows. That's something that grows on the rocks. And this guy seeded and sowed across thorns and thickets and stuff like that. And this is the skin. It's going to the south now. It's the third one. So it goes, it says, and it couldn't grow in that, all those thins and thickles and stuff like that. So there's this is where our body is being looked at as being thorns and thickets. It's one of the things about being poked and prodded. This is how I fish. This is the body. And these guys, when I talk to them, it's their outside people we're talking about. So I poke them and prod them and hook them. The Bible's a snare. You know, it tells them that. So I can talk like that. I said, I came out here to hook a couple of you bad boys, drag you out of hell. If you come willing, but you got to be willing. If you're not willing, then you can't come out. You're not allowed. You got to stay in hell. All right. So, anyways, it goes to the very fourth one. The fourth one is the good seed. That's where the guy who learned the seed he learned from the east. He made it all the way to the east. This is the ground where you sow your seed at. And that's where I went to learn how to read these Bible, how to read this. All right. And I'm teaching you how to do it. Okay. Because once you can see it, once you can hear it, then it says all you have to do then is to understand it in your heart. And that connects three together, and you're a step closer to making this connection. We went through this. I went through this online with people as we went. But on 9 here, Jesus says, look, a sower went out. He filled his hands with seeds, and he scattered them. Some fell on the path, and the birds came and pecked them up. Other fell on the rock, and it did not take root in the soil, and they did not push forth ears. All right, so there wasn't anything, nothing came out of it. All right. And others fell among the thorns. They choked the seeds, and the worms ate them. And others fell on good soil, and it produced good fruit. It yielded 60 per measure and 120 per measure. So this is 2 different places. It yielded 6 per measure, so there's your works. You have to do your works first. That's what we talk all the time about. And 1, 2, 3. That's 120. That's 1, 2, that you're looking at the 12 or the 3. 1 and the number 2 represents 3. Before they could do this, all right? So, you know, that's how it works, all right? Here's number 10, because 10 becomes of 1, but Jesus says, I have cast fire upon the world, and see, I am guarding it till it blazes. This is what he's here for. This is what means when you make it from being, let's see, you look at the world. You look at the world, the top part is summer and winter. I mean, spring and summer, the lighted side, and you have the dark side. right? With fall and winter. So this is heaven and this is earth. So, you know, how we just keep looking at this is that the way the earth turns is, you know, it turns and we go around the sun. And when that happens like that, it's the darkness that's always encroaching on the light. So it's made it's made it's made Earth to be a darker place. That, you know, we even come in disconnected from God right off the bat. That this dark side and Earth itself encroaches on our spirituality, It gives us religion in its place. This is an outside thing for an inside subject. All right. So I cast fire upon the world. This is what he's meant to do. This is that cook. We're being cooked, you know. We're being baked. It's that smell that God gets from our burning flesh, you know. I mean, but this is dark sayings, and so it sounds so terrible. It works, you know. Number 11 is a 2, so it says, this heaven will pass away, and the heaven above it will pass away. And the dead are not alive, and the living will not die. In the days when you consumed what was dead, you made it alive. When you are in the light, what will you do? And number 4, on the day when you were one, you became two. But when you became two, what would you do? All right, well, this is going in the opposite direction, because we go to become one. We come in twos. We come separated, broken. We come in separated. That's why that's the 10 Commandments, the 2 tablets that they talk about it. Broken in half is what it is. So, and shattered and scattered. These are terms that we get all the time in the Bible. And it really just means like you are not connected to God. You are split. You're just half-brained some doers and all that stuff. And look at me trying to correct myself. But anyways, the easier things first. All right, that's how we take care of our addictions and problems. All right, desires, the easiest ones first. Okay, let's see. There's a lot of them. Let's go down a little bit more. When you see one who was not born of a woman, fall on your face and worship him. That one is your father. Perhaps people think that I have come to cast peace upon the earth. They do not know that I have come to cast dissension upon the earth. Fire, sword, war. For there be 5 in one house. There be 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. Father against son, son against father. And they will stand as solitary ones. That's because all of those people he's talking about is an individual, just one. And yes, they will. And what number is this? Number 16? So it's a 7. So yes, he's got to pit them against this and pit them against that. Remember, you have to hate these brothers and sisters. And then just directly after that, it says, and you have to love them. So it's very confusing text, but you know that once you get the change, you're cool. I will give you what no eye has seen, and what no ear has heard, and what no hand has touched, and what has not occurred to the human mind. This is an 8, representing 17. And it's all by itself. So an 8 is is a controlled number. So I will give you what no eye has seen. This is what I get. All right. There's scripture that says that uh, people that are less smart than me or wise have wanted to see what I see and to hear what I hear. This is in our scripture. I don't know where it is. I could probably Google it. And to me, it was just like, wow, that's so cool. It's like, wow, all these people that have tried and wanted, and if you can't hear it from me, that's why there's only a few of us, you guys, because there's only a few people that can think about it, even digest it or ingest it. It's just not that. It's not everybody. It's not for everyone. So I hardly even know any of you, my little devils, my little devils, my little. I don't know what I would call you. I would just say, is anyone listening? You could be like, other partakers in following the law and, and the way, promoting this energy and this code, the code setters. Maybe that's what we could be called. The code. These guys are the code setters, the Gnostics. Well, anyways, I did get the eyes to see these things, and I did get an ear to hear things. I don't have a lot of people to share with, which is why I come to this part of things. Not even a lot of my friends are really, Jesus people. And those that are real Jesus people, I just don't have, I just don't have it in me to pull their face right out from underneath. I just don't think that that's my call. But out here, it's like a public thing. It's a post on the wall, for those that wish, it's bait. It's like trying to bring them out. It's like, it's a snare, just like the Bible becomes a snare for those people to get caught up in and to create the havoc in their lives, because this is what it's meant to do. And here I come outside, to try to show that there's a space in the middle here that all of us could learn something from and find very few takers, Let's see what else we have in here. We get going. 1,000, 2,000, la la la. Love your brother like your life. Protect him like the apple of your eye. I've heard that before. This is a number 25. That means 5, 6, 7. So love your brother like your life. It's all this idea of loving your brother. If you do not abstain from the world, you will not find the kingdom. All right, so that's 1. This is 7, 8, 9. This is a 9. If you do not abstain from the world, you will not find the kingdom. We have to cut off from this outside world. And what that actually means, it's not just like, I'm not going to go to this church anymore, or I'm not going to do that kind of blasphemy anymore. You have to kill the West. You have to kill the mind. You have to symbolically commit suicide, which will help your mind switch over to the right side. So it's saying in a way that this has to happen. All right, you have to kill. It has to shut down. It has to stop, and you have to do the way to do it. There's just you can't just say, I no longer party like that. It says that doesn't work that way. Number 2, in that same area, it says, if you do not make the Sabbath into a Sabbath, you will not see the Father. So again, The Sabbath is the seventh chakra. It's the Lord's day, and you're supposed to, that's the day that you have rest. So they're actually wanting you to go inside, take this, because this is your rest. This also opens up the right side of your mind. It wakes her up. She's the Holy Spirit. This is how Jesus meets us in the air, which is theta, when we have no mind, no thoughts, complete darkness. And he baptizes us with mother. This is the right side of the brain. And what I was trying to get at earlier with the earth and stuff like that is the way it works out is that you start off with a virgin mind, and that's Virgo, and then you go through Libra. It's the next one. This is the balanced mind, because that's what you're coming in here for. You're bringing mom and dad together so that you're looking for a balanced mind. You're bearing the cross. You're bearing the cross. And so, and then it goes in, you're backbit by Scorpio. This is this idea of the Judas in you has just betrayed you, betrayed the flesh side of you, all right? How could you do that? Gives him a kiss of death. Well, anyways, he's then paraded over to death, which happens at midnight when he's reborn again. All these guys are born midnight, all right? And that's in between the goat and the horse, all right, or something like that. That's where it would go. So that's in between Sagittarius and Capricorn, all right? And then he's born. 30 degrees later, or 30 years, or 30 whatever, we comes alive again, and he meets up with John the Baptist. Where's this at? Aquarius. Oh my God, check him out. And then what is he after that? He goes into Pisces, where he fishes for his group, you know, and then and then Aries is the Lamb of God that takes away the sins of the world. And then the bull is destroyed before the God. That's in Taurus. You know, this is the way these stories work. Taurus winds up being, you know, the west side of things. This is the flesh sacrifice. And this is also when you meet Jesus. It's in the air right around this time, right? Remember, this is spring and something new is coming to our lives. And so then the crab grabs you and holds on to you. It doesn't let you go, but it's the top one, all right? And it lets you go to Leo. And when Leo's got you, that's the lion side. You are now the lion, which is what we were wanting to be in the first place, is to become the lion. And we devour the beast and we become this thing, right? It's just so beautiful and seamless, all right? But I just drew that in front of your eyes. And who knows who heard that? Where there are three gods, they are God. There are, it's a little harder. It's not hard. I mean, I can tell you, but it's just stupid. A city built upon a high mountain and fortified can't fall, nor can it be hidden. This is a 32, 3, 4, 5. So it's just someone telling you, you know, that idea of building the palace on the rock. You know, this is the strong point that Jesus dragged to us, is that, you know, if you can build your house on the stone, you can take anything. You really can, all right? You will not be taken down. And here's 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's if a blind person leads a blind person, both will fall into a pit. Well, this is the outside world because, you know, I'm trying to get people to understand what they're seeing and stuff like that. But those people that can't see it and it's right in front of their face, that tells you what a blind person is, all right? Someone who cannot see the word. He's not going to be able to sow his seeds. He's not going to be able to make it over to the east side. Not right now, not this time, all right? All right. Well, anyways, we'll go and we'll find some more things. This goes on. There's like 100 million of them. If I tell you how many there really are, because I'm going to end this now because there's still so many more that we can go through, and they are Jesus's sayings. And I think it comes to 114 sayings or chapters. That's a whole mess. What is 114? What is 4, 5, 6? So it's a 6. It's going to end up on the works. Simon and Peter, to them, let Mary go away from us, for women are not worthy of life. Jesus said, look, I will draw her in so as to make her male, so that she too may become a living male spirit similar to you. But I say unto you, every woman who makes herself male will enter the kingdom of heaven. You guys, oh my God, this was the one thing that I have been looking for all day, and to find that it's the last one. It's pretty cool. I wanted to use something that was so obscure that you'd have to, like, scratch your head on this, all right? But just the other day, we were discussing this idea that we were children in God's eyes, even as we exist now in our skin, whatever age we are, a little like runny-nosed children. That is no adolescent children, childish behavior. And it says that when you grow up, you're supposed to put away those things that you did as a child. All right. So while we are disconnected from him, we are this child. And when we go inside of ourselves, remember, all of the stories are about our mind. So it's not gender relevant. So you're male or female, but it's still the right side and the left side of your mind, male or female. So the idea is that they have to become more male to make it over onto this other side. That's the idea. To go from child, they're talking about a more of an adult situation. So here we go. Every woman who makes herself male will enter the kingdom of heaven. This is talking to females themselves, and it's hardly, this is the only ones really talking to these girls, all right? So their idea is they are meant to go over and do this business, and that brings them, because what happens? It's the Son of God that is coming in the clouds with the rainbow, It's the Son of Man. And so it's talking about the Son, which would be our right side or left side, whichever it is, wherever they come out of, all right? It's our child. It's our brother. And this comes out of the male side, so it has to have a male energy to it. All right? That's always was the firstborn. So this is this is the one time when you find out, wow, the girls do have salvation after all. But I knew that all the time. But this right here, but they say, what? Every woman who makes herself male will enter the kingdom of heaven? Well, that's some convoluted shit, But is it? No, it's about how your mind talks to itself, how you have to go inside and get your male side to come and be harmonizing with the female side of your brain, regardless of gender. If you can't bring your mind around that, then you'll never make it into heaven. All right. But anyways, it's the same idea that when we started all these interesting conversations out, was that, some woman, so it would be an outside thing that was praise the woman that gave birth to you, and whose titty you sucked and stuff, so it says, blessed is the person who knows their Bible, evidently you don't get it, and it's like, blessed those days when, you recognize that it did come out of somebody's womb, right? And no, it didn't get its food from her titty neither, all right? It's like he's directly reflecting to that's an outside thing. And I'm talking about an inside thing, you idiot. Let me tell you, this book is mean and it talks like that. It really does. You say, you're not really being really nice to these people and things. Well, damn it, they're dead. What the hell? All right. So, anyways, did you understand? Simon Peter said, "Let Mary go away from us, for women are not worthy of life." That's just a shame. But you have to understand that what they're doing is that this is putting everyone, Jesus is gone. He's going to disappear, and he's not going to be there for them. He's not going to be there. Just like Moses and all those guys, they're all left alone. God has left the building. All these things are not there. So let Mary go away from us. Women aren't worthy of life, So they kill off the right side of the brain. And she not died. She didn't die. She's just sitting there. She's waiting. She's waiting for him to be betrayed, and she can get together with him. This little child can come alive. So I hope reading a couple of this is what we're going to call our salvation scriptures. This is going to be what teaches us about not just the spirit of the text. By reading things, you're seeing things, you're hearing things. And with a little interpretation, you can understand what it is that they're talking about. And we use the code, because the code beside it will tell you whether is this about, is this the beginning of the story, something with 10 or 1? Is this number 2? Is this 2 where they're trying to bring the physical and the invisible element together? Or is there 2 things being joined together here, and then 3? Oh, is there something about the works? Is there, hey, hi, Jesus, or something like that, 4 would be about the worlds, and it'd be like a traveling thing, talking about kingdoms, things like that. Also could be the churches and stuff, and then we get 5, which is going to represent the body, and so we get this idea of meat or animal, or something with 5, 5 things being drawn together, to create the dry land. It's cool stuff on earth, you guys. All right, as we continue to rip through the Bible, this is the way it goes. All right. I love you guys. And I ain't never going to give you no lie. All right. This is all just the straight ass truth. Straight up. All right. For those that can hear, keep on listening. All right. Chat with you soon.